Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the EDF Sports Podcast. I am here with Liam and Lamar once again, my two partners in crime, as always. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Pretty good.
We are headed in to week 2 of the NFL, and I don't know if anybody could have gave us in their wildest dreams a better opening weekend. Am I right? I mean, there were some crazy games, and it kind of mixed up a lot of what we all believed, huh?
It was an awesome week one, and you know how I'm seen as a traditionalist fan. We get this week 2 is basically just a second week one because it'd be week 1 of any other season if we didn't have a 17th game. So let's have a second week 1 this weekend.
All right. What'd you think about the weekend, Lamar? Because I got questions for you, man.
Yeah, it was some good football out there. Some teams play bad, some teams play good, but with a lot of entertaining games. I know I was on my couch all day Sunday watching.
I know it was hard to move, huh? I got some good stuff, though, coming for you, Lamar, because I got a big question that I really want to answer, and it's about somebody you know a lot about. But first, let's get into the Green Bay Packers, because I have Rodgers, and I have Adams, and I have Jones. Did nobody give me anything? Killed me all weekend in my fantasy league. Liam, what is going on with Green Bay? What happened?
I might have had something to do with this.
Oh, shit.
Under my Devontae Smith jersey, my undershirt was my Aaron Rodgers shirt. You guys know how much I love Aaron. You guys know how much I love Aaron Rodgers. It really sucked. All right, it really sucked to watch, but it was cool to see Jameis kind of like look like a completely developed, different quarterback. Even only throwing 140 yards or whatever he threw wasn't too much. But I'm not worried about the Packers. I think, really good teams throw up stinkers all the time. I recall last year's Super Bowl Buccaneers, their second go-around playing the Saints because they lost both regular season games to the Saints. They lost that score 38-3. What did the Packers just lose? 38-3 to those same Saints. Well, not the same Saints because Drew Brees isn't there, but you know what I mean. But it's week 1. Aaron Rodgers is coming off the most personal off season he's ever had. And I think, the Packers have to hit the ground running this week against the Lions and get back on track. I don't think they're worried. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is really worried. I think teams lose games all the time because, yes, you lost very embarrassingly. But at the end of the day, it's still just one loss. And now you get to be – and if history tells us anything, Paul – Aaron Rodgers is about to have maybe the best game of his life against the Detroit Lions and just all right, everybody shut up. I'm looking at you, Skip Bayless.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And if you're right, if history has anything to say about it, every time he's had a bad game like that, he's came back and had a killer one. But I want to know, though, Lamar, for reals, do we not have anything to worry about, really? Because, I mean, he has the most worst offseason you can imagine, where this personal battle between him and the team. There's very little practice in camp, and then he comes out and stinks it up in game 1. Lamar, is there anything to worry about, really?
I don't think there's nothing to worry about yet. Just one game, but if they look horrible again against Detroit, then I think you got to start opening your eyes and figure out what's going on out there. So I think they'll get it together against Detroit. I mean, they got good players, good team. They're figured out, man.
Did it mean anything? Game, man. Did it mean anything when he put Love in at the end, or was that just kind of because it was almost the same reason if you were winning by that much?
It didn't mean anything, and I think every year we like to trick ourselves into the Bears being some sort of potable threat because of their defense, or the Vikings being some sort of potable threat because I don't know. I really don't. But we know at the end of the day that the Packers are at least going to have one home game in the playoffs because they're going to be winning this division. So I'm not worried about the loss in week 1. I would be more concerned if they played porous throughout the season and then got shellacked like this coming in on the end. I would be more concerned if they played like Pittsburgh last year, got off to a roaring start, and then the wheels fell off the last 6 weeks of the season and you knew what they were in for come playoff time. I'm not worried about
Right.
week 1. Not worried
Right.
about.
So Green Bay put up a stink bomb, and that was great. And like you said,
And that was
Winston,
great. That was great.
that
No,
was
it
that was
wasn't.
that. I mean, it wasn't great, but that's all I can say right now. Like I got wiped out in 3 games, 3 of my 4 wiped out, all because of that right there. So but let's go to the Saints for a minute because Winston did have one hell of a game, right? I mean, he did what he can do. He put those deep balls right on the money. That's what he does. That's why he's in there starting, right? Because he can hit that ball when Hill couldn't. But and was I the only one though who was sitting there waiting for that INT that never happened? I mean, it's Jameis Winston. Like I'm waiting. It never came. Like
I don't think he's gonna throw a lot of interceptions this year. Sean Payton is gonna put him in positions to succeed, and they ran the ball like 30 plus times, and he threw it like 20 something times. So you're gonna see a lot of that. They're gonna lean on their defense. They're gonna lean on the run game and lean on Winston throwing down the field. Only thing when you got a team like that, though, what happens when they jump behind early? Can Winston still
bring him back.
maintain not throwing interceptions and stuff? I mean, the arm talent there. He's gonna throw some yards. He's gonna throw some yards. He's gonna throw some touchdowns, but just gotta keep that interception level low.
Is Kamara the best back in the NFC?
In the NFC or the NFL?
The NFC.
No.
No? Who's a better back?
Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, McCaffrey, really? I mean, I get it. Everybody does, and he seems to rack up the points everywhere. I'm just, for me, going by the eye thing, there's just something about McCaffrey, but I mean, he proves me wrong every time, and he does have the stats, so I'll go with McCaffrey on that one.
Something about McCaffrey?
I think this year you're gonna see. I think this year you're gonna see more Kamara being a complete back because he's gonna get a lot of more carries this year. I think.
Yeah. I want to get to another team, but it's in the division that I know you know really well, Liam, because it's in your Phillies division. First of all, the division that I feel is wide open.
The division leading Eagles at 1-0. Everybody else is at 0-1.
Right, and it's pretty wide open, right? I mean, but the Cowboys, they looked good, even though they lost, right? I thought they looked a lot better than they were going to, right? So I was ready to say that the Cowboys have the best chance to win that division, right? Then all of a sudden today we get DeMarcus Lawrence is out with the foot, right? Probably 4 to 6 weeks. Right tackle Collins suspended for 5 games. Defensive end Gregory, what's his name?
Randy Gregory.
Yeah, he's out, right? Gallup's out 4 weeks. Like, they lost a ton in a 2-day span that not only was bad hits, but they were big parts of their team right there. So now I got questions about Dallas. Tell me about that division, though, Liam. Who's coming out of there besides your Eagles? What about Washington? Because Washington was also a favorite, but then they lost a quarterback. Fitzpatrick goes down. So where do we stand in that division, Liam?
I mean, I kind of hate, like, at this point, I wish you could ask me this in like 2 weeks and I'd have like a much clearer answer on it. But
wow.
I'm still gonna say the Cowboys just because I trust Dak more than I trust anybody else. But listen, you're right about like the injuries and the COVID protocol and all that. They play the Chargers this week, and schedule matters and timing matters. Yeah. They play the Chargers this week at SoFi in the Chargers home opener, and then the Eagles play San Francisco at home. I'll actually be at that game. I got my mom's birthday.
You mean the Cowboys home opener?
No. Cowboys are on the road again. Cowboys home opener.
They're gonna be at home. Trust me, it's gonna be way more Dallas Cowboy fans there than Chargers fans.
I know what you mean, but no, you're right. But still, so Dallas's true home opener is week 3. It's either Sunday or Monday night. I forget, but it's against the Eagles. So I'm telling you what, there's a real chance with the injuries to San Francisco and all that. Like we beat San Francisco last year on a whim. I mean, Nick Mullins was starting, but same thing. If the
Right.
Eagles can somehow go into Dallas 2-0, and Dallas is 0-2, and they're still going to be without some of those guys. Oh man, I like my chances. And
Oh
then
yeah.
at that point, I'll have to reverse my pick. But I'm sticking with Dallas because I'm going with my head and not my heart.
What about you, Lamar? Who do you have coming out that division?
Well, I'm still gonna roll with Washington. I think their defense gonna keep them in a lot of games, and
See, that's what I was wondering because I'm pretty sure we all pretty much had them coming out of there the last time, right?
but can they score? Then I start thinking about, can they score enough points though? Like
Yeah.
Dallas gonna put up some points, and can they score enough points with that Heineke quarterbacking?
Right. For me, Dallas is the problem's never been the offense. So,
Yeah, so
or
like
as long as Dak's in.
Eagles can upset if the Eagles can upset the 49ers this weekend, and I think they in play too.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to go see a win. I know Kyle Shanahan's going to run us into the ground, but that's okay. I hope we can run them into the ground too.
Right. And like you said too, San Diego, I mean, they looked pretty good. They looked pretty good. They looked better than I wanted them to look.
Herbert's
So-
the truth.
And that's going to get Dallas. Dallas, I think, yeah, to me, Dallas is going to start off 0-2, and that's going to hurt them more in a lot of other ways too, because that's a team who I feel is fragile. So they start off 0-2, and you never know where they're going to go from there.
Listen, and just to bring up the lowly Giants, because we haven't talked about them. For a team that looked like they could be on the come up at the end of last year, they might be worse than the Texans, man. They might be the worst team in football, and I love it. I really.
They had no offense. No offense.
Crazy.
Like I felt like I could have ran out there. Sorry, go ahead, Lamar.
Listen,
to me, it's like the 6th year in a row where they ain't got no offensive line. Like, y'all can't fix your offensive line.
No.
Offensive lineman, go pick them up.
I'm
Simple,
terrified that they're going to end up with Spencer Rattler, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, they were awful for sure. Another disappointing team for me anyway, and I know it is for most people too, but this is a team that I had picked for the AFC to be that sleeper team, the Tennessee Titans laid a damn egg. Come on. That was if it wasn't for Green Bay, that to me would have been the worst display of football that I have seen. They looked like that was week 1 of preseason. What happened to Tennessee?
Lamar, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What's Ryan Tannehill again?
Oh yeah.
Like I said, man, Tennessee's one. They got the weapons, but they're a team that you jump on them and make Tannehill throw the ball. He's gonna make some mistakes too. Tennessee's a team that's got to play from ahead, lean on Henry. But Tannehill he's gonna put up numbers. He's gonna throw TD passes. He got time around him, but when the game on the line, you really want the ball in his hand? I say no.
That offense just did not look good though. I mean, with all those weapons, they couldn't do nothing.
There's clearly some beef with Julio and Vrabel. Like, I want to know what's going on in there. But I mean, Chandler Jones, he was holding out for a contract. He wanted to be traded, yada yada yada. Well, he definitely in game 1 played like a guy who needs to be paid right frickin' now. The 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. I mean, he had a hell of a day.
He was a monster.
Might have been the best overall player across the NFL in week 1 on either side of the ball. So
you get the feeling of a guy like that. That's when they're in that zone, huh? Like nothing could have stopped him. He was flying high. Like every move he made was the right move. It seemed.
And Taylor Lewan is supposed to be at least maybe not, I don't know, premier, like a good left tackle, right? Taylor Lewan is a good left tackle. If you know an offensive lineman's name, he's either really good or really bad, and we know Taylor Lewan for being pretty good.
The whole Tennessee Titans line is pretty good.
Right. He got torched. Like, he got absolutely torched. and I was talking about, I said it in my preview article for the conferences. I think, Tennessee's offense will come to form, I'm sure, if they stay healthy. But I said they still don't check the adequate defense mark for me, and that proved pretty true, in week 1. And, Kyler's a special talent, but they
I was
couldn't.
going to say, was that not Arizona's offense though too? I mean,
They couldn't do anything. They
They-
couldn't do anything. It was the first time Cliff Kingsbury looked like a competent head coach in his 3 years in the NFL. And the Titans defense, and Vrabel's supposed to be a defense guy. Where's the defense? Come on, Mike.
Lamar, is Arizona for real?
They're gonna be good, man. That NFC West gonna be interesting, man. You're gonna probably have every team over 500, I think.
Yeah, they're one of those.
Arizona got the weapons, and now with Chandler Jones, and if J.J. Watt can get healthy, play decent, man, they got a nice front seven. But Chandler Jones also won out too, so
Didn't JJ
Fine,
still
like,
have like a
going-
sack and a fumble recovery and 2 hurries? I mean, like he still played what kind of football? So, and it's funny because people had been saying about him being not as good or he didn't play as well. But when you look at those stats, to whose standards? His brothers? I mean, because that's about the only other person you're gonna.
I mean, when he on the field, he's gonna be impactful. You just gotta stay on the field.
Yeah,
Right.
true that.
And now he's playing opposite of Chandler Jones too. But all 4 of those NFC West teams, like the 3 that don't win the division, could all be wild cards. Like I don't think any wild cards coming out of the North or coming out of the East. So it would be down to the Saints, really in
Right.
the NFC South. And then it's going to be those 3 teams in the West all vying for the 3 wild cards who don't win the division. The Cardinals are the realest 4th seed that ever existed. But I'll still take the Seahawks, the Niners, and the Rams over the Cardinals. And that's crazy to say because the Cardinals are loaded and they're going to be really, really good.
I want to switch to the AFC real quick because there's a couple of things I want to get to there. First of all, that we touched a little bit on Tennessee, but Buffalo, they kind of laid a little egg themselves there. I had a little more faith in that quarterback. That whole offense in general. I don't know really what happened to them. You got any ideas on what happened to Buffalo? I mean,
I got some ideas. Why did we have to dog on my 2 guys, Aaron and Josh? It's like you came in, wanted to attack me a little bit, Paul, and I understand because I come out and attack you too. So Josh looked like year 1 and 2. Josh more year 2.
He did.
Year 1 wasn't good. It looked like more year 2.
Oh, you got froze up on me. He did not look his best for sure. But Lamar, your Raiders also, that's the other team I really wanted to get to. I'm gonna put this on.
Is what won the Steelers the game. So I think that I'm not just like I'm not worried about the Packers. I'm not worried about the Bills because I think Dable and Josh Allen will figure it out. That offense will figure it out, and they're going to have some easier defenses going forward. The Steelers are one of the top 3 to 4 defenses in the league, and it's a tough to come out week 1 and implement your stuff when everybody's a little cold and rusty against a defense of that caliber. So, if they were playing the Steelers in midseason form, I'm sure we would have seen a lot more points. I'm not worried about it.
Speaking of the Steelers, though, last season, I believe they were only a running back away, and they got their running back. They signed their big man on the other side who came out and showed that he deserved that money. Pittsburgh could be one of those teams. It all depends on Big Ben. Can he continue to be himself and do that? Not now, but he tends to fade at the end of the year. He has the last few years. So can he make it past game, 10? We got 17 now. So, past 10, there's still 7 to go. To me, that's going to be their biggest question right there. But another team played Monday night, though, and I want to get to Lamar real quick because I got a question. Lamar, your Raiders, they won twice in the same night, which was incredible. That was as crazy as it could be, right? I've never seen a team win 2 times in one night. But Carr did it. He had 400 and some odd yards, right? He had all that. But I got a question. Is this not it for him, Lamar? Tell me. Is this not the last year for Carr to show something before they have to move on?
Yeah, it is. It's just the year for him. I mean, the second half of the game, he made the proper adjustments and played like it too. He looked more like the second half looked like more like the 2016 Carr where he would climb the pocket, didn't look scared, climb the pocket, letting the ball fly down the field. I mean, even the first half he was struggling, but he still looked comfortable. It was just like his timing was off. But what I liked about the Raiders, everybody complaining about the first half. I like what they did in the first half. They threw to their best player and they got the ball down the field. Last year, they didn't throw the ball down the field much, and people was complaining about that. But a lot of people just don't like Carr, so it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. They always gonna find something to pick and choose about him. Like Keyshawn Johnson said yesterday, he said you can like Carr. Carr's got the same incomplete passes just like other quarterbacks have. So I mean, this number's gonna be there. You just gotta keep playing aggressive. Stay aggressive.
It just seems to me like he's at that point. When you watch that, when you hear them talk, when you hear the things they say about him, it seems to me like he's working for his job right now. And sometimes that's tough on a quarterback. And you know,
it's a contract year for him. It's a contract year. Either going
even better, right?
Play great, you play great and make the playoffs. You're gonna get a contract. They don't make the playoffs. Who knows what happens?
Right. And how do you feel about that defense, though? Is it going to hold up too? Because they gave up a lot of points and a lot of yards.
That's Lamar Jackson shit. I mean, the defense played great in my eyes. I mean, against Lamar Jackson, you play everything right. You still can run for 30 yards. So I mean, they had 3 sacks, forced 2 big turnovers, kept the Raiders in the game in the first half, and they fell down 14-0. So
now let me hear from
great. I mean, if they play like that on Sunday, they're gonna whip the Steelers' ass.
Oh,
Ben Roethlisberger ain't going nowhere.
Oh, whoop the Steelers' ass.
Let's go.
Right?
Defensive line play like they did on Monday night. The Steelers are in trouble.
I love it. Lamar, coming from someplace off though, you don't have no dog in that side.
But
what do you think?
It's the Raiders though. So defensive line might look like trash on Sunday in the morning. So we'll see. Like if they can play fast like they've been playing, because this last year we didn't have no pass rush at all.
Yeah, they are kind of a Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, so that's the only thing worried about the Raiders. One week they play great, next week they look like they might not play football. So I'm just anxious to see how they come out these next couple of weeks. Can they continue to build off what success they had from last game, continue to build, and don't get complacent?
Right. Liam, coming from somebody off of the Raiders, not even a bit, what do you think of Carr? What do you think of the team?
First, I think it must be weird for Lamar to watch his Raiders beat a guy named Lamar, but that's besides the point. Derick Carr, I feel like I've been told so much that over the years that he's underrated, to the point where I just watch him and I'm just it just doesn't stick in my head anymore. It's overrated in my head. I think he's a good quarterback, but I just there's nothing, no more room for my brain to consume Derick Carr anymore. I need to see him prove it. I need to see him win a playoff game at least one.
Right.
I've only when the Raiders made the playoffs, he broke something, right? And then Connor Cook started the playoff game, if I'm not mistaken.
Broke his leg.
Yeah, yeah. So I need Carr to, I know he hasn't had the greatest teams around him. I know the Raiders spent their number 4 pick on Clelin Ferrell, who's a healthy scratch this past Sunday. I know he hasn't had the luck of a Patrick Mahomes or a young quarterback who walked into a great situation, or hell, even a situation that got a lot better. Might have even gotten worse from the Jack Del Rio days. So I need to see Derick Carr prove it, and I would love for him to prove it, but I'm not gonna bank on it happening.
Yeah. that division, by the way, is one of those crazy divisions as well, because we saw Kansas City do their incredible Mahomes thing that he does, and I believe that was a big Cleveland hit. So let's go to that game right there real quick. That was an incredible game, first of all. And
Yeah.
Cleveland looked to me like they were trying to make that statement. And they were out there and they pounded it down on him. And that one touchdown run where I could have ran it in was that point where I thought, okay, they did it. They actually have come out here. They dominated Kansas City. And then from that point on, it was all Kansas City. Where did we put Cleveland? Is this are we going to say the same thing? Is this the same thing? It was just one game and it was Kansas City. Don't worry about Cleveland.
Totally. I mean, the reason you shouldn't worry about Cleveland, first off, when you lose to the Chiefs, that's different than the Packers looking like crap against the Saints or the Bills looking like crap against the Steelers and their anemic offense. Like, you're playing against the best quarterback in football. So losing, there's no shame in losing that game. All respect to you for coming out and looking like you did. They weren't afraid. They weren't afraid at all. They weren't afraid of Arrowhead. They weren't afraid of the Chiefs' aura. They weren't
seem like it.
They weren't afraid of last year's playoff loss. Look, like win, lose, or draw, this Browns team is going to work and is going to fight you. And I would be very happy to see this, come back around in the playoffs. But I can't be worried about Cleveland. The effort that they showed, like, for the people who aren't worried about Dallas because of the effort that they showed against Tampa, I have my gripes with Dallas's effort much more than I do with Cleveland's effort. The Browns are going to be very good, and they're going to win the AFC North. And I want to see that. I want to see them go back into Arrowhead, or hell, who knows how the rest of their season ends up. And maybe the Chiefs have to go to the dog pound. It's never happened. Patrick Mahomes has never played a road playoff game en route to the Super Bowl, but maybe this is the year.
Isn't it crazy? I just do they not go? Are they at Kansas City or is Kansas City at Baltimore? Is that not the game this week?
At Baltimore.
So isn't that kind of crazy? Like, you had those three. I mean, Kansas City started off just saying, "Give me the best in the AFC. Let's take care of this right now, and then we can."
Yeah, the NFL does a good job of stacking like their best games for prime time and leaving the division rivalries that they need to fulfill their every team gets a primetime commitment, like Washington and New York playing tomorrow. It's going to be a boring game. Of course, I'll watch it because it's my division. But they got to fulfill their rights somehow. That's a great game, and it's going to be awesome. And Lamar's never beaten Mahomes, and neither is Josh Allen, and neither is Baker Mayfield.
Right.
Season, not postseason. Someone's going to do it.
Right?
I know, Derick Carr. Derick Carr has beat Mahomes, so the others got to do it. The others
True. The last thing I want to touch on, and I saved it for last because
the Eagles.
I got to say something about Cleveland real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
So Cleveland had a perfect game plan, but when they play the Chiefs, the quarterback will have to make some key throws down the stretch, and Baker couldn't do it. I mean, he played a great game. He pulled the stats up, but those last two drives, he didn't do nothing.
Did last year come into his head?
That interception he threw, people say he's trying to throw it away and he got hit, but I don't know if that. But I mean, you can run the ball all you want to and control the clock, but against the Chiefs, they're gonna keep scoring. You're gonna have to make some plays through the air in the clutch time.
That is true. You're gonna have to keep scoring, and they quit scoring for a long period, which is
also that punter dropped that punt. That's what hurt him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That point, he's been getting torched, hasn't he? Like, all you have to do is catch the ball. All you do is catch the ball and then kick it. That's it. That's the one thing.
When you pick it up off the ground, he still should have tried to kick it. Like
he had time. It looked like to me he had time.
The run was absurd. I was pretty heartbroken for the Browns at that moment.
So Liam, go ahead. Tell me about the Philadelphia Eagles, because I wanted to talk about Hurts as well, but I forgot when I went back over when we went to them earlier, I just forgot to keep going. But go ahead, tell me about the Eagles, because Hurts, to me, he looked better than anybody. He's one that I felt people were not giving him any chance at all. That's why the Eagles were not picked to win the division. That's why they were not picked, because of him. And what happened? He went out there and played a hell of a game.
Listen, it's the cliche, but our new coach Nick Sirianni really did put him and our offense in spots to take advantage of their strengths, like put them in advantageous positions to succeed. We played a lot, we played Jalen Hurts a lot like he was able to play at Oklahoma. A lot of making his own reads, a lot of reading defenses and reading linebackers in order to run RPOs, and a lot of shorten intermediate pass. We didn't air it out once, and that's part of our game with a receiver named Quez Watkins. We all thought that Jalen Hurts, this part that he would struggle the most is the intermediate passing game. And sure, he had a couple underthrows. There's a throw that he completed to Ertz that was actually a drop, not a drop, but it hit the ground, and it was called a catch. It didn't get reviewed, so that helped us out. But his touchdown throw to Devontae Smith to start the game, that was a perfect little end zone fade. And if he's going to hit that throw consistently throughout the season, my Eagles offense is going to be just fine. I don't know if I'm ready to call Sirianni a whiz kid. I think you need a little body of work first. But if the Eagles have truly found themselves a new little young offensive, genius mind, like a Shanahan or like a McVay, watch out for our future, baby.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts works hard intangibly and demeanor-wise. He's everything Philadelphia that Carson Wentz wasn't. And, we're adopting him like our son. I am so excited to see him live this weekend. Let's go.
I love it. And again, to me, he outdid himself for sure, but it will be him. Can he be consistent? If he can be consistent, do that week after week, then yeah, for sure, their offense won't be the problem.
32-6. They're going to be the Falcons.
Where are you sitting?
I'm sitting in my boss's seats. They're they're just about nosebleeds, but it's set up pretty well. You can see the whole field perfectly. I'll take some pictures.
I love it. I bet you that atmosphere in that stadium though is
we're nuts, dude.
Every experience that you would want to have going to a Philadelphia game. So now tell me about these guys, because in my head, this team is the best team in the NFL by far. They showed it. The Rams. The best
team in the NFL.
I'm going to say it right now.
By far.
Did you not see that team? Who's next by them? Who's going to stay with that?
The Chiefs.
They gave up how much points to Cleveland? They're not going to. Cleveland's good, but they're not.
Chicago Bears run by Andy Dalton.
I mean, I can't defend Andy Dalton. I'm not going to defend the Bears for what they did, okay, because that's a travesty. In my book, this week, Fields comes in, and he never leaves the game again. He's going to come in this week, and he will be the starter from here on out. You'll never see Andy Dalton starting for the Bears again. It will be Fields' team this week. Mark those words right there. But, all right, I mean, I hear you that it was the Bears, but the Bears are an okay team. And it wasn't just that, though. It was the fact that everybody, Stafford can't play. He was in Detroit. It wasn't him. I mean, it wasn't the team. It was him, blah, blah, blah. Look at him, man. That offense was just dominating, and they have a defense that's just the same. I watched that game, and after watching all those games that I watched on Sunday, it was obvious to me. Now, I'm going to say that, and I'm going to stick to it. Go ahead and fight me on it. But to me, those Rams right now are the best team in football.
All right. If you want to say the best team in football, I'll take the opinion. When you put the by far in there, Paul, that's where I can't agree with you. Because there's a dude named Patrick Mahomes and there's a dude named Tom Brady, both leading loaded squads their own way. And Matthew Stafford, no matter how good he is with Sean McVay, is not as good as Tom Brady and is not as good as Patrick Mahomes. So you have a premium on the two quarterbacks that Matt Stafford isn't on their level. Even if the Rams have a better team in totality to the Buccaneers and the Chiefs, which I'm not even sure they do in totality of the Bucks. I still think the Bucks might have the best overall roster, or Cleveland for that matter. But no, they're not the best team in football by far. They're going to be a great out, and I'm so excited to see them in the playoffs. But I'm still picking Seattle to win the division. I'm still picking them to, not make it to the Super Bowl. I think the Packers or the Buccaneers will be back in the Super Bowl, and I think they'll be in the NFC Championship game too. So Rams, shut me up. But I'm not gonna hang my hat on one game. They look awesome, but what is Matt Stafford? Matt Stafford's just a souped up Jared Goff. He's not anything.
Oh my God.
He's not anything. He's not anything special. He's a special talent, but he's never been a special executed player.
He hasn't until now. Now we're going to see that specialness. Now he has something beside him to help him out, and he gets to showcase what he always had. And even those great numbers that he got was with such a terrible. I mean, I put him in that same thing as Barry. I mean, almost, the same team, the same Barry team where they take these talents and I don't know. He's going to show this year. Lamar, you tell me about the Rams. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, you know who is special? Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald and Sean.
Yes.
I know 3 people on the Rams, including the head coach, who are special. So Matt Stafford, if you want to make it 4, go ahead. But there are 3 there now, and you don't want to just be a part of it. You want to be one of the fixtures of it.
I agree. Lamar, what do you think of the Rams?
I like the Rams. That defense is amazing, and what Stafford does for the offense is he opens the field up for him. I mean, with Jared Goff was there, you don't have to worry about no deep passes. Stafford can help us stretch the field and make longer throws, and with McVay calling the plays and stuff and telling them what to look for before the 15-second thing cut off, that can help their offense get to another level. But their receivers got to stay healthy, like Cup and all them. Stay healthy. They got the talent, but I think it's going to be their defense that's going to get them to that next level.
How far can they go?
Ramsey and Donald, man, them two monsters right there.
How far do you see them going?
I think they could be in the NFC Championship mix up there with the Bucks and the Packers. But I think the Packers gonna fall apart in the playoffs like they do every year. That's just me.
So out of all the games this week, I don't know if you guys have looked at the schedule, if you guys did your picks or anything yet, but is there a game you're looking forward to this week, Liam?
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to the Aaron Rodgers redemption game, and I'm looking forward to that Ravens-Chiefs game. Of course, looking forward to the Eagles-49ers game, personal interest.
Yes, sir.
But, there's a lot of narratives that need to carry over into week 2. What Josh Allen are we going to get? What Aaron Rodgers are we going to get? Let's see how the Rams continue to develop. How do the Raiders bounce back? Do the Steelers find any bit of offense? What's going to happen with an 0-2 start for the Ravens isn't good. No matter what happens to the Steelers or the Browns. So, is Russell Wilson gonna keep on doing what he does through the first 10 weeks of the year and not fall off this time? You learn a lot going forward, just like in individual weeks. So, I think one thing's for certain: the Buccaneers are going to beat the Falcons. That's all I got for you.
Buccaneers are going to beat the Falcons. Lamar, is there a game you're looking forward to?
Looking forward to the Ravens Chiefs. Every time you got Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson playing against each other, that's must-see TV.
Yes, for
See,
sure.
with another week with those running backs under their belt, Ravens should play a little bit better.
Yeah, I think week 2 is going to help us out a lot. It's going to see those things like was Green Bay just a fluke the first week, all of that kind of stuff. So week 2 is always going to be good for that. For me, I'm looking more. I'm with Liam. I'm on a personal reason. I'm looking for Saturday because I'm going to be there watching the Gators in Alabama live.
Oh yeah.
In the swamp.
Oh yeah. I'm watching that game.
getting the party of a lifetime that goes on outside on that lawn. So I'm gonna be there, be hyped, be ready. That's what I'm looking forward to. But I'm gonna love watching KC and them too. But this week for me, it's all about college. Either one of you guys like college football? You guys go for college football? I know you do,
I
Lamar.
love college football.
I'm not big on the regular season. I'll watch bowls in the playoff.
Really? Good deal. Because we're gonna have to do some college football. But anyway, let's do this last word, man. Because I'm ready today for mine. But let's get to the last word. Liam, start us off.
Paul, I think your Denver Broncos have a top 5 overall roster in the NFL. It's pieced together very well, very highly talented, and yet you pass on Justin Fields to take Patrick Surtain, and you're stuck with a very safe quarterback like Teddy Bridgewater, who, it's a no shock to you. He's not winning you a Super Bowl, right?
No.
So,
no.
Is it Aaron Rodgers or bust at this point? Is that what they're banking on? Because
I think they did.
The Broncos are pretty awesome as a wholly constructed team, and I would hate to see it go to waste if they can't get their hands on Aaron Rodgers next summer. Your thoughts?
I agree totally. I think they missed the boat. I think they were hoping on that or Deshaun Watson, and then all that started happening with Watson. All that went down with Green Bay, and by that time it was too late, and now they were stuck with what they got. And you're completely right. Now they either have to wait for that free agency and hope for that again next year, because maybe Watson stuff clears up. Maybe he doesn't get traded in the meantime, or maybe they take a shot on him and get him and see what happens. I don't know. But other than that, then it's back to the draft. And is this class going to be anything near what last year's class was? So yeah, they dropped the ball to me. It was a big gamble, and they missed it. Lamar, last word.
NBA training camp a few weeks away. Kind of getting excited about that.
Yes, sir.
Ben Simmons,
what's going to happen? Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben Simmons still going to be on the Sixers.
Saw some good video of MPJ today. Oh, he got me hyped. I'm ready. I can't wait for that either. My final word is going to be on Urban Meyer, and I'm going to say it right now. And I know other people have been saying this and that, but I got physical reasons of why he will be the USC coach, and he will be walking out of Jacksonville. He's going to land in the West Coast, and tomorrow, check that article out, all right? And it's going to give you details of why.
His wife said no.
USC's next head coach.
I'm with you. But I told you this morning, Paul, on Twitter. I heard this before.
Oh yeah. I'm a guy going to. I mean, it's almost. The situation is almost identical to Saban's in Miami. Almost to the wording of what he said on the stand every week that he was asked, are you going to take the Bama job? Are you going to take the Bama job? All the way to the same thing where Alabama said, oh, we're going to search for a coach. It may take us a while. It's going to take us some months before we get there. Why? Because they knew when the end of the season was. What did USC say? Oh, it may take us about 3 to 4 months. Coincidentally, let's watch that. Where's that end us at? January, when the season's over. The Jags still have 3 wins on the season. Urban Meyer's tearing his hair out. He already is attacking coaches and players. Okay? He's already at his feverish pitch that he gets. It's all leading towards the fact that he's going to end up in Southern California.
I love your delusion. You're crazy. All right, you're crazy.
A UFC dynasty will starting next year. You're going to see a West Coast.
You're going to turn down like $15, $20 million a year to stay in Jacksonville?
And that's the point too. Yes, part of that whole deal that I just got is that when they hit that money point, all right, and he can say all he wants to because he has to say it now, because otherwise you have chaos on an NFL team. It's a business. It's a business. So you can't say anything, just like Saban, who, by the way, did you guys see he came out and said that it was because they didn't sign Drew Brees was the reason why he took off out of Miami? That they had him locked up, but the crazy doctor in Miami failed his physical. So Brees didn't sign there, and that's why he left. So
yeah, and I think whoever USC get is going to be a big name. They got to go big name now.
they have to.
They felt the last few years with these coaches they chose. They gotta want to splash. I'm pretty sure their alumni want to splash. So
Exactly, and who
or it's gonna be some other coach we might not even think about right now who might get that job.
Yep, and a guy who's a king in college is sitting over here in Jacksonville tearing his hair out, and he ain't going to get better. It ain't going to get no better. I don't know if you guys watch that team. That team's not better. Okay? The team is not better than they were. They got a better quarterback.
Denver this week. They got Denver this week.
Yep.
0-2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're going to start 0-2, and then from there, you know, it's just going to spiral because that's how these guys work. They don't have a front office that has any capabilities to keep this team from not doing what they're doing right now. Right now, they got Meyer running a crazy show by himself. And the word out of there right now is that the coaches are getting mad because he's yelling at them, and the players just can't handle that because in college, he can yell at them. In the pros, they don't want you coming up and yelling in their face. You know, it's not the deal. We're adults.
So those rumors I was reading were kind of true, huh?
Yeah. So to me, it's a perfect storm. It's going to end in a Meyer Saban battle for the next 5 years of who wins the championship, East Coast Southern battle. But that's my final word. I appreciate you guys once again, as always, man. It was fun. I enjoyed this time. So thank you both for coming, and let's do this again next week.
Peace. Thank you.